Welcome to the latest episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host, Kevin. Today we'll be discussing that 1982 cult classic, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
They were Fast Times.
They were Fast Times, if memory serves. And with us right now, we'll have many guests today, but with us first we have Sabita.
Hey!
Say hey!
Hey!
Those of you guys who are joining us for the first time, the B Movie Club, it's like a book club, only without all that pesky book learning.
No reading necessary.
No reading, illiterates, please. The line forms at the right. Okay. So, what we do each week, I'll post on Facebook what movie we'll be doing, and you can send in your questions, comments, favorite quotes, and favorite scenes. We'll talk about it on the show. Please come and like
The lines are open.
The lines are open. The hit line is open. Go on our page on Facebook, the original B Movie Club, and click the thumbs up button. You can also go on YouTube and subscribe. It's totally free, although your time must be worth something. You can also reach me on Twitter at KD9575. Sabita, what are some of your favorite scenes from Fast Times?
There are so many. I mean, I wish I had asked for a pizza to be delivered into my history classroom.
Who didn't?
But what I really love is the scene in the dugout. Because I think nothing says romance like taking a woman you've never spoken to directly to a baseball dugout.
It's basically, I talked about this during the movie. There are little warning signs. Ladies, if the guy picks you up from the curb and immediately wants to take you to the point, no dancing, no drinks.
Red flags.
That's a big red flag. And also, gentlemen, if you have to ask more than once, are you really 18? That's a big warning sign.
She's probably not.
She's probably... Check ID at least. Passport,
Fingerprints. We want
something.
fingerprints.
That's what I'm saying. Any other scenes you'd like to talk about?
I really enjoyed the end.
The ending.
When everything sort of came together.
Yes.
I mean, everybody really got their happy ending.
It's very important.
Except for Phoebe Cates.
She
got screwed. I mean, by her fiance in Chicago.
She pretty much gets a warm glass to shut the hell up at the end of that movie.
Which, I mean, let's face it, she totally deserves.
She deserves it.
She was a little obnoxious with the whole, it's only sex.
When you're talking to your 14-year-old friend, encouraging them to have sex, not a good thing. At least,
especially when you're suggesting it is of no importance whatsoever.
It's just sex.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Well, thank you for joining us, Sabina.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And now joining us is a fellow movie buff, Alan. Thank you for joining us.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Excellent. And what are some of your favorite scenes?
Scenes?
Or lines, or actors, performances?
I think, watching the movie together, it was about, under the circumstances, two guys, two women. Over there, by the way. And the perspective was just like, it was mentor teaching the young one wrong things.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The older character trying to take the younger character under their wing, but it's kind of a broken wing, like Mr.
Like,
Good intentions.
Mr. Miyagi.
Good intentions, yeah, definitely. But it was definitely Phoebe Cates, the older character, and
Mike Damone, yes, the ticket scalper.
He actually made a bet, so he might have also been a numbers guy as well.
He was running numbers.
You win 25, I win 5. That's the bet.
You know the drill, the 17-point spread.
That math is completely wrong, by the way. I have no idea.
That's true.
So.
Anything else you'd like to share?
Absolutely not. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable. But Sabita and my wife Jen over here in my house, making it all worth the while.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but thank you for joining us. And now, joining us is Jen. How you doing, Jen?
Good.
She's doing well. Anything you'd like to share about Fast Times? Reflections?
Well, see, really, the only scene that sticks in my mind about this movie, because we actually didn't finish watching the whole movie, is that infamous scene where you get to see Phoebe Cates in all of her glory.
In all of her glory. That's a good one. Yeah, it's a fantasy sequence.
It is. But you know, she really overshadows the movie, but I think that Jennifer Jason Leigh's boobs are also quite lovely.
Yeah.
And no one talks about those.
This is true. I know I don't. I know I don't.
You know, I'm speaking real things.
Hey, that's what we want. We don't want any jive.
I am.
We don't want any jive. Only straight
No
talk
jive,
here.
Straight talk. Straight talk. Oh, another thing I could say is
Yes.
Sean Penn is quite good.
I've said it before.
Surprisingly good in this movie.
He is like a chameleon. He is a chameleon. You see him as Spicoli, you think he's Spicoli, then you see him in Milk, and you're like, hey, now he's Milk. He is a chameleon, that's all I can say.
I agree with that.
He's excellent, excellent. And of course you've got, who else is in this movie? You have 3 Academy Award Best Actor winners.
Yes, you don't see them for long.
Nicolas Cage, if you blink repeatedly,
You will miss
if you have
him.
a tick, you will miss him.
Yes.
Okay?
As well as
Forrest Whitaker. Forrest
Thank
Whitaker
you.
plays
Thank you.
Jefferson.
Very memorable.
Yes.
And he's in a very short amount of the movie, and of course Sean Penn. So,
Sean Penn.
absolutely.
There you
All-star
go.
cast.
That's right.
Anything else you'd like to share?
I have nothing.
Can we
Okay.
talk about how Sean Penn, who was like a complete stoner the entire time, suddenly came up with the most genius plan midway through the movie?
Which
How did he
plan
do
was
it?
that?
Yeah.
The plan, well, after he and Forrest Whitaker's brother crashed the car,
I like to say it wasn't really Forrest Whitaker's brother, it was the character Jefferson's brother.
as you like.
You
Potato,
don't know, that could have been
potato.
his brother.
Potato, potato.
I did not check the credits, it could have been Forrest Whitaker's brother.
Anyway, they
It
crashed
wasn't
the
John
car.
Stamos' brother.
It was Leaf Whitaker.
They crashed the car, and do you know what? They don't just sit there and feel sorry for themselves.
They do not.
They do not. They, 2 stoners, come up with the most genius plan to get away with it.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
it is a genius plan.
Would you guys...
Blame it on Lincoln High.
And nothing happens from that, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Lincoln High
They
gets
get away
crushed.
with it.
42-0. What?
There really are no repercussions for anything that occurs in this movie.
All right.
So that's a good lesson
That's all
for
I
our
had to
teens.
say. That's all I had to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. What is this movie basically about? What's the plot? Yeah. Is that a tough one?
It's a cautionary tale.
It's a
really.
cautionary tale. We talked about it briefly.
It is, well, what you said before about taking one under one's wing and the mentor position,
Bette Midler sang about it.
but not
What
of
about
the broken
sex?
wings. Not of the
Is it
broken
about
wings.
sex?
Yeah, there's a lot of... Okay, I have to tell you. This movie is not for the faint of heart because it definitely deals with 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds experimenting in things they probably shouldn't be experimenting with. There's drinking, there's sex. It's very upsetting for all of us.
very upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
Well, the sex part isn't upsetting, but the other themes.
The other
The
things.
serious side of sex, if you will.
There's definitely kind of a ABC after-school special kind of vibe to a lot of this movie. Again, you've got Stacy and Brad, who are brother and sister, and they're kind of dealing with their own high school tribulations. You've also got Sean Penn as Jeff Spicoli, the crazy surfer stoner. You've got Linda and Mike, who are the older friends. There's Mark, who's also kind of the young, nerdy character. I was the only one watching this movie, evidently.
We were watching the movie, we were also commenting.
Yes.
Roll 10 times.
What about Cameron Crowe?
Cameron Crowe,
Cameron
this is
Crowe.
important. Cameron Crowe
Cameron Crowe.
wrote this, first the book, after going undercover in kind of a 21 Jump Street sort of way, at a local high school in San Diego, and kind of wrote down the things that he experienced. And it became a very successful book, although it's currently out of print. You have to go to the library if you want to read it.
It's currently out of print.
Libraries where they hide
It's
the
a
books.
fine book.
And so then they such a success that they made this movie. It was directed by Amy Heckerling, who you might remember about
Clueless.
15 years later, she directed Clueless.
Really?
Yes, thank
Did
you
not
very
know
much.
that.
People who auditioned for the part of Brad, played by Judge Reinhold, include Tom Hanks, Matthew Broderick, the list goes on and on. If you're looking close, you'll see Nicolas Cage, listed as Nicholas Coppola, the only time he used his actual name. So there you go. You also got Anthony Edwards, who went on to Top Gun and ER. Eric Stoltz, who played Mask. You know that? He had the mask. He had some kind of disease. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Damn it, Jim, I'm not a doctor. Okay?
The message of care.
Like I said, Forrest Whitaker's in a very small part of this. Bruce Springsteen's sister, Pamela Springsteen, is in this.
What about John Stamos' brother?
John Stamos was not in this, or anybody related to Stamos, as far as I know.
Richard
Stamos. It was an all-star cast. What can I tell you? Okay? I don't know what else I could tell you. So, any last reflections or feelings on this?
I'm sorry, I don't.
It is hot.
Except
Please.
I am very glad to be on your show.
Well, thank you.
I'm a fan.
Thank you.
And
First time caller, long time listener.
I am first time caller, long time listener.
No, I appreciate
I'm so
that. I
happy
appreciate
to be
that.
here.
Thank you.
In my home.
Yep.
This is my home that we are filming in.
It is,
My
indeed.
home.
Thank you, and thank you for having us,
Yeah,
I should say.
thank you for coming.
For inviting all of our viewers into your private
Yes.
residence.
Yes.
So there you go. Like I said, it is very funny, but it's also, it deals with serious issues that America was grappling with. The dark
It still
underbelly of America's youth.
I think these themes are timeless.
They are
actually.
timeless.
I do.
Shakespeare started talking about them.
This is true. So there you go. It currently holds a very high rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Does it?
I don't know what that would be. I forgot to look it up, but it's high.
79% fresh.
At least 79. It could be higher than that.
It almost got a B.
It
Not quite.
almost a B.
B for the B Movie Club.
It's a passing grade, at least, definitely. Next week, we are going to go into the sci-fi action variety. We're going to be doing Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, starring Ricardo Montalban.
Just in time for the new Star Trek.
That's right.
Famous
For that.
Quienes Mas Macho. As you know, I end every episode with a totally out of context quote.
And you have one.
And does anybody have one they'd like to share?
Alan.
I don't have all the answers, but I'm on your side.
There you go.
There you go.
That is a great quote.
That's not a good one. We're going to go with...
Oh, I love that one.
We're going to go with Hey Bud, Let's Party, because that's the first one that popped into my brain. So thank you for joining us next week. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. Be well.